self-doubt. To be perfectly honest with you guys, I ironically had self-doubt going into this video. I just want to make sure I do right by everyone who's reached out and gave me their story in regards to self-doubt. I've experienced self-doubt my entire life. Whenever I'm in a new situation, I find myself questioning why I'm there. It's really nerve-wracking. Like for example, I've been doing comedy for 6 years. I feel that I have a strong foundation to perform. I know what I'm doing. However, there are situations or new situations that I find myself in, and that's where the self-doubt creeps in. Like, am I good enough to be there? I think a lot of it has to do with putting myself in a position where my expectations are unrealistic. I think that's one key, at least for me, that is. For example, with comedy, I have a high standard. Like, I see what really good comics are capable of, and from there, I compare myself to those comics. And I always find myself in a losing position where I always feel I'm not good enough to be at that level. So no matter what success I have on stage or off stage even, I always feel that I'm not good enough or I'm not living up to that level. And that always plays into my low self-esteem. Earlier today, I basically said enough is enough. And I want to figure out a way to battle this self-doubt. So I reached out to people on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I asked, like, hey, like, if you've experienced self-doubt, what did you do to overcome it? Let me know your story. And a few people reached out. I wasn't expecting a rapid response, but I got a few right away. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we all experience it. Like, we're not alone. A few people reached out and told me their story, told me like what they're battling. One person wrote that his entire life, he had crippling self-doubt all throughout his high school, and it wasn't until an incident in his life that turned it all around. Basically, after being put in that situation, he had to have multiple life-saving surgeries, and after that experience, it was a great awakening. Like that whole experience taught him to push himself through the hardest times. He uses that experience and he takes it to whatever challenges he faces, like comedy. So, thank you for sharing that story. This person wrote that she had an abusive childhood, which led to an abusive marriage. This person struggled with mental health and a few suicide attempts. It wasn't until their early 30s that they started to take steps to combat the self-doubt, the low self-esteem. And this person actually goes to codependent anonymous meetings, which is helpful for this person. It brings up a topic where it helps me get through these self-esteem moments, the self-doubt creeps in, is being able to talk to somebody. Fortunately for me, I have a girlfriend whom I share everything with. Just by talking to her, it allows me to get it all out there, and basically, I'm no longer holding on to those negative thoughts. But unfortunately, sometimes she's not around, and so I have to battle them myself. So going back to that, what I admire about this person is that even though they had a horrible upbringing, they're still taking steps. They identify the issues now, and they're taking steps to fixing them. And by going to these codependent anonymous meetings, it's helping this person get through it all. And I do agree with talking to people is very helpful. Talking to your support system, that's very helpful. Ultimately, the goal for this video is to let people know that they're not alone. That everybody has self-doubt. even The Rock. I saw this interview with The Rock where like he talks about having anxiety and like not being able to live up to the expectations. He's this big superstar guy. He's killing it, and he still experiences it. So we're all not alone. Those are just a few of the stories that people have shared with me. If you have any, like, if you want to tell me your story, or if you have, like, what do you do to overcome self-doubt? I would love to know. Yeah, I definitely want to do a follow-up episode, hoping this video helps out others. So, thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike DeVore, and you have a wonderful day.